Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Gemini Man, or Gemini Man. If you look at the posters and see the strange way that they structure the word Gemini on these posters and in the graphics. But this is an Ang Lee film, and from what I understand, this film has been bouncing around for years because, trying to get technology to catch up with it. It's an action film centered around a hitman who's trying to retire, and then his government's after him, or shadowy people working with the government are after him, and he gets caught up in this craziness, and it's starring Will Smith, and a completely CGI young Will Smith, which 9 times out of 10 looks really impressive, minus the last bit of the movie, which it looks horrible. Horrible. But in general, this film is probably known by the fact that it has a younger Will Smith, and he's fully CGI. It's not like they DH'd Will Smith, they didn't put a DH face of Will Smith on somebody else. He's fully CGI, and for the most part, really works. You can see the ragdolling in some pieces of the action sequences, but overall, it works. And that's what I could really say. There's one particular action set piece in this film that's absolutely amazing. And it's towards the center of the film, and I really, really loved it. And I was engrossed. Ang Lee, who is a fantastic director, does some amazing things in terms of camera work and pacing and framing of this action sequence. Some of the other action sequences feel over-edited and choppy, bad lighting, and it's just like, I wish you could have captured that in all of these action sequences. And Will Smith, who really elevates this film, is rather impressive. It's Will Smith, and he brings his charisma. And I just wish he took some opportunities with some better scripts. Because recently he's shining in a movie with a bad script, or shining in an overall bad movie. But he's really there. I wouldn't call this a bad film. It's not a good film. It has potential. And there's some pieces that are frustrating. But one thing that I want to say, which I thought was very unique about this film, it was perfectly comfortable with tenderness between men. And you don't see a lot of action movies where you see men, embracing another man and really being okay with, I love you, as a friend. And that's really meaningful. And you can feel those interactions between some of the characters in this, and Ang Lee's able to get that emotion, which I think having him direct this film is something that allowed for that to happen. Because he is a director that can handle that emotional connection, and I felt like it gave this film a unique perspective in many ways. But overall, this script's kind of bad. Things seem convenient. Things seemed rushed. Things seem the dialogue is not great. And the actors are doing their best. Will Smith elevates it. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is great in this too. I really liked her. Benedict Wong is fun, but some of the material he's given is really hard to make work. But in the most part, he does. And then you have Clive Owen, who just feels so wasted. He has been for years at this point. I'm really looking forward to seeing another film where he can really dig into something like Children of Men or his small role in Born Identity. But for right now, it's he keeps doing these villain roles that don't give him much to do than scowl. And the dialogue wasn't helping him much. And that is the biggest thing, is the dialogue and the story don't work so well. This has the opportunity for sequels, and I could appreciate that and would be interested in seeing it because I like the characters and the concepts in this film. And if it was built around a better movie, I'd be okay with that. And David Benioff, one of the screenwriters of Game of Thrones, who's basically in nerddom shithouse right now because of the last season of Game of Thrones for many people. A lot of people are criticizing this in the same way that they criticized the writing of the last season of Game of Thrones. And this film has a lot of potential, it just doesn't pay off in it. But the music is cool. Overall, the cinematography and the coloring in this is beautiful and it's striking. There's a lot to admire, but as an actual film experience, it's lacking. Except for one really awesome action sequence. But overall, if you're down for like kind of turn the brain off kind of action movie, here you go. There's Gemini Man. If you were hoping for something a little more, this might disappoint you. You might want to wait for streaming. But those are my thoughts and recommendations. What do you think? Comment below. Let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.